I'm exhausted. I have had a really long day at work. My kiddo has not been sleeping. We have had numerous nights of the toddler waking multiple times overnight and taking hours to go back to sleep. So I really don't feel like cooking dinner tonight. But I honestly don't feel like stopping and picking something up on the way home either, because I'm too tired to decide what to eat. And I don't want to spend the money. We're traveling soon, and I just don't want to spend extra money. But luckily, I follow my own meal planning rules. And I have in my freezer and my pantry what I call emergency dinners. So I decided I'm going to film this little intro here as I'm leaving work and make a video telling you what my favorite emergency dinners are. So my favorite emergency dinners are not the obvious things like frozen pizza. Of course, frozen pizza is always a good one to have on hand. That's a great emergency dinner, a backup dinner. But you can get tired of that. You can get tired of pizza. My husband might disagree, but I'm gonna get tired of frozen pizza too many times. Because how many nights are we gonna not feel like cooking? Many nights. Many nights. If you're a normal human being, you're busy, you got kids, there's gonna be many nights where you don't feel like cooking. And I don't want frozen pizza to be the only backup emergency dinner I have. So over the years, I have come up with multiple ones. But let me explain a little bit more about what I mean when I'm talking about these emergency backup dinners. So I don't just mean things like a family-sized lasagna. That's fine. Or like I said, I don't just mean frozen pizzas. Those things are fine, but again, you're gonna get tired of those. And those complete meals can be a little bit pricey for what they are. So what I like to have on hand to, again, save money, but also give me a night off from cooking, is things that require a tiny bit of prep, but they're so easy that it's not gonna bother you. Things like tomato soup and oven grilled cheese. Oven grilled cheese. There we go. Told you I'm tired. Okay. So oven grilled cheese, you're gonna throw some bread in the oven with slices of cheese in between, and then you're gonna make a can of tomato soup on the stovetop. You can do that even on a day where you're exhausted, right? So I'm just gonna put some slides in this video explaining what my other favorite meals are. But also part of the reason I don't like the family-sized, like done for you frozen meals at the grocery store is they're so skimpy. Like, for example, if you buy like a pre-made chicken broccoli rice casserole, you'll have a ton of rice and then like 3 little chunks of chicken, maybe a couple of broccoli florets, and then a bunch of those like broccoli stems that no one wants. And it's gonna be mostly rice and cheese, which is tasty, but not much substance, right? So you're paying for the convenience of it being done, but you're not getting much for your money. I like these dinners with just a little bit of effort. It saves you money, but you also get to crash on the couch sooner. All right, so here are my favorite backup emergency dinners. One of my favorite emergency meals that I always keep on hand is baked tortellini. So you can keep the jar of marinara sauce in your pantry. You keep the frozen tortellini in the freezer. And then everybody has cheese, right? Like, who doesn't always have cheese in their house? And then you just throw these things together, throw them in the oven, and it's a pretty hands-off meal. It just requires pouring out a jar and pouring out a package of tortellini and waiting while it bakes. You can add some extra veggies, you can add garlic bread, but we typically just call it good. This may be an obvious one, but canned soup is a great backup meal to have on hand, and tomato soup is my favorite. You just add some grilled cheese on the side, and it becomes an easy and complete meal. Grilling grilled cheese sandwiches actually requires a little bit of work, so for this to be a really easy dinner for those nights you just don't feel like cooking, the best way to do it is make oven grilled cheese like so. Now, these oven quesadillas you could do in a couple of different ways, but this is my favorite way, and it's really hearty with the black beans and everything in them. You could also do just cheese and dip in some jarred salsa that you keep on hand. Tortillas freeze really well, so you can have tortillas in your freezer and canned corn and black beans in the pantry. And again, everybody always has cheese on hand, right? And these are a few of my other ideas for these emergency / backup dinners that are really easy and you're able to keep them on hand all the time. Back in my car to tell you that I did successfully have dinner at home that night, despite how tired I was. We had the emergency backup dinner of orange chicken from Aldi with some pre-seasoned stir-fry blend veggies and rice in the rice cooker, which is another tip. The rice cooker is like my best friend. Rice with any sort of stir-fry is such an easy, complete meal. So that's what we did that night. If you would like to see these recipes written out where you can save it, I mean, you can save this video, but a easier way to save them, there's a blog post to go along with this video. You can find that link in the description. And then this idea of having backup meals / emergency dinners is one of my core guidelines that help me cook dinner up to 7 nights a week. I cook dinner I make some sort of food that we eat at home 7 nights a week, most of the time, the vast majority of the time. And I have a video all about how I do that based on these guidelines that I follow. And this is guideline number 5. Always have a backup plan. So I'll link that video also in the description, and you can find out lots more about this on the blog, which I'll link in the description, the general link, and then also the link to the blog post that goes with this video. If you need more tips for eating at home successfully, saving money on groceries, meal planning simply, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, and also follow me over on Instagram. And of course, like I already said twice, check out the blog. See you next time in my budget kitchen or in my car or wherever the next video may take place.